Hey Bucs fans, what's going on? James here, and in today's video we are finally getting back to the greatest Tampa Bay Buccaneers of all time, and today we are talking about linebackers. Now this one's going to be a little bit confusing because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers like to move linebackers around a lot. They didn't do it that often, but middle linebackers sometimes shift over to maybe left outside linebacker or right outside linebacker. So for the purposes of this video and my list, I decided to just put the top 3 linebackers the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have ever had. And if you get upset about that, oh well. Now without further ado, let's get started with the first Tampa Bay Buccaneers linebacker on my list, and it is Shelton Quarles. Now, Shelton Quarles went undrafted in the 1994 NFL Draft, and he was eventually signed as an undrafted free agent by the Miami Dolphins. He was then cut and then ended up joining the CFL for the next 2 seasons of his career. After that, he then joined the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as a free agent signing in the 1997 season. Now, Shelton Quarles does not exactly have the most accolades, I guess you could say. He was obviously a Super Bowl champion in 2002. He made a one-time Pro Bowl in 2002 as well, and he did end up spending his entire career with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers from 1997 all the way to 2006. Shelton Quarles is another fine example of an undrafted free agent coming to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and able to have a productive career with the team. Like recent examples with Adam Humphries and Cameron Brate, things really started to pick up with Quarles in the second half of his career, where he had over 100 tackles in 2002 and from 2004 to 2006. Now the stats for this one are going to be a little bit weird in case of linebackers, so I've actually divided it up into 3 stats: tackles assisted, solo tackles, and forced fumbles. Now in terms of tackle assists, Quarles is actually 5th with 214. In forced fumbles, Quarles comes in at number 10 with 8, and in solo tackles, Quarles comes in at number 6 with 468. Quarles ended up playing a whopping 148 games for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which ranks number 8 all time. I love Shelton Quarles so much just because of the story that he had coming into the team. After being cut by the Miami Dolphins and then joining the CFL for 2 years, he was then able to come to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as a free agent and have a very productive and a very long career for this team, as well as getting a single Pro Bowl and a Super Bowl ring out of it. That's pretty darn good for an undrafted free agent. Moving on, however, to the next linebacker on this list, it is Hardy Nickerson. Now, I must say an honorable mention does go to Barrett Ruud. I just love Barrett Ruud, and he actually has some pretty decent stats, but that's not the point today. We're talking about Hardy Nickerson. Drafted in the 5th round of the 1987 NFL Draft, Nickerson actually did not spend his entire career with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. No, he actually spent his first 6 years with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and would then join the Tampa Bay Buccaneers after that. Now, a lot of people say that Nickerson played in his prime for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and in my opinion, they'd be right. Playing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers from 1993 all the way to 1999, he was a 5-time Pro Bowler, a 4-time All-Pro, and a Witzer White NFL Man of the Year award winner during his time with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Nickerson's another one of those great cases, like I said with Jimmy Giles, where the Buccaneers get a player and he's actually productive with them rather than going off and joining another team or then being productive on a team before the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming in and then not doing anything. Nickerson is one of the rare cases where he comes to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and it is in the prime of his career. Taking a look at the stats, and Nickerson is no slouch. He actually comes in at 2nd in tackles assisted with 246 and 6th in forced fumbles with a whopping 13. Coming in 3rd as well in solo tackles with 680, and Nickerson etched himself out a pretty decent career for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He played 104 games, which actually comes out to 32nd all-time for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So at this point, we've had a tale of 2 stories. One being the story of Shelton Quarles, an undrafted free agent who came to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and etched out a pretty decent career for himself, and then the story of Hardy Nickerson, where a man comes in and has the prime time of his career with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, we're going to be talking about the all-around, possibly most dominant Tampa Bay Buccaneer of all time. It's Derrick Brooks. Drafted in the 1st round of the 1995 NFL Draft, fun fact, that's where his friend Warren Sapp was drafted as well, both by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. There is literally an endless amount of words to talk about when talking about Derrick Brooks. He's an 11-time Pro Bowler, a 9-time All-Pro, he's an NFL Hall of Famer, and a Super Bowl champion, as well as an NFL Walter Payton Man of the Year award winner in the year 2000. He was the NFL Defensive Player of the Year in 2002, and as well as in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Ring of Honor. Derrick Brooks has a very storied and very much awarded career for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He came in the first round of the 1995 NFL Draft, and he just produced right away. And as I'm going to talk about in a second with the numbers, this man is just legendary. And I'm sure it's a lot of people's pick for the best Tampa Bay Buccaneer of all time. But how do his numbers stack up for all-time numbers? Let's take a look. Fun fact, Derrick Brooks is actually first in all three categories that I mentioned. In tackles assists, he is number 1 with 413. In forced fumbles, Derrick Brooks is number 1 with 24. And for total solo tackles, Derrick Brooks, again, comes in at number 1 with 1,297. This is a ridiculous number and a very big jump between the numbers that Nickerson put up and the numbers that Quarles put up as well. He played his entire career for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers from 1995 to 2008, and he was pretty dominant throughout the entirety of his career. So like I said, Brooks played his entire career for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which actually totaled up to 224 games for the team, which ranks number 2 all time. Who's number 1? We'll have to get into that in a little bit. I do hope you all enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for just being supportive to the channel and just watching all this videos. It's greatly appreciated. I do hope you all enjoyed this video, and let me know whatever you guys want to see down in the comment section below for future videos. As always, guys, I am James. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I will see you in the next video, but until next time, go Bucs.